This PC had almost no space left, only a few gigabytes were available and Windows was constantly warning that storage was running out. Instead of guessing what to delete, I'm going to run through the biggest space recovery methods using only tools already built into Windows. The goal is simple: find the wasted space, remove what is safe to remove, and see how much storage we can recover. At the end, we'll compare the before and after. So let's start the speedrun. The first target is the easiest win, the junk Windows already knows about. I'm starting with disk cleanup to remove the files that have built up over time, like temporary data and old Windows leftovers. Let's click clean up system files to free as much space as possible. Let's see how much space this first round gives us. A little over 10 gigabytes. That's already a big improvement, but the drive is still far from clean. The next round is where we start looking for the storage Windows doesn't make obvious. This is where the cleanup starts getting serious. The first round removes the obvious junk, but I want to see what else Windows has been holding on to. Storage settings reveals the bigger categories taking up space, including old system files, temporary data, and even files sitting in my downloads folder. Before removing anything, I'm checking these categories one more time. I'm also going to run through my downloads one more time, just to be sure. These are files Windows has already identified as safe to remove. Nice, this cleanup alone is going to save us another 20 gigabytes. That's a big jump, but now we've cleared everything Windows can easily find. The next step is finding what Windows doesn't make obvious. Now we need answers. The easy cleanup is done, but the drive is still almost full. That tells me the problem isn't just temporary files, something much bigger is hiding here. This is where I look at what is actually consuming the storage. Large programs, old downloads, videos, and files that have quietly grown over time. And this is where the real culprit starts to appear. I found these files responsible for a huge chunk of the missing space. Some of these was sitting here for months, taking up tens of gigabytes, without me realizing it. After removing the biggest offenders, we're looking at almost 60 gigabytes recovered from this one step alone. That was the biggest jump so far, but I know there are still a few hidden space killers left, so the search continues. The biggest storage users are often not junk files. They're programs that were useful once, but have been sitting here untouched for months or even years. Looking at the biggest space users, some obvious suspects start appearing. Editing software, old tools, and applications I completely forgot were still installed. Some of these are taking up gigabytes for no reason. I found a few programs that are eating a huge amount of space, and most of them haven't been touched in a long time. These are easy wins. This one can go. Let's remove this. After clearing out these old programs, we've recovered another 8 gigabytes. This was another good jump, but there are still parts of Windows that can quietly hold onto storage. That's where we're going next. After removing the obvious stuff, I'm checking one of the last hidden places Windows can store the necessary data. Windows updates leave behind older system components, and after years of updates, this can quietly grow in the background. The component store is one of those areas most people never check. DISM shows that Windows thinks that there's still some cleanup possible here, so I'm forcing the cleanup to see if this hidden storage can give us anything back. This one takes a while, but now we'll find out if there's actually anything left to recover. After waiting for the cleanup to finish, I checked the result, and no, this is not working. Windows technically had something it could clean, but it wasn't the missing storage we were looking for. That tells us something important. The big wins are already found. Now let's add everything up and see how much space this cleanup actually recovered. At the start, this drive was almost full. After running through each round, Windows cleanup, temporary files, storage cleanup, large programs, hidden Windows storage. The final result? Total space recovered? Over 100 gigabytes. The biggest wins came from storage cleanup, large programs, and the Windows cleanup files. The important lesson here is that a full C drive usually is not caused by one mysterious file. It's usually a combination of forgotten programs, old files, and Windows leftovers building up over time. If your C drive is full, find the biggest storage user first. Remove the saved targets, and let the numbers prove the difference. If Windows still can't explain where your storage went, that's where the next step begins. There are tools such as Wistree and TreeSize that can scan your drive visually and show every folder and file sorted by size, making it much easier to find the storage hogs Windows hides. I'll link those guides next. Thanks for joining me on this cleanup speedrun. We started with a full C drive, just a few gigabytes left, found the biggest storage problems, and recovered as much space as possible using only Windows tools. If you tried this yourself, let me know how much space you recovered and what was taking up the most storage on your PC. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.